Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm going to tell you a very special fairy tale, one that is touching, meaningful, and just a little bit magical, as if it stepped right out of an enchanted storybook. This tale will help us understand something important. Sometimes diligence and a kind, honest heart can take us further than any magic spell. So please, don't miss a single moment of this story. Stay with me until the very end, because the lesson you'll find there is truly precious. Oh, and if you enjoy stories like this one, sweet, warm, and full of wonder, don't forget to click asterisk asterisk, like asterisk asterisk and asterisk asterisk. Subscribe asterisk asterisk to this channel. That way we can meet again in the next magical story time. Now then, are you ready? Let's begin our tale. Part 1. The Lazy Girl and the Diligent Girl. Once upon a time, in a distant village, there stood a small house nestled peacefully among trees. In that house lived a man and his wife, each having a daughter from their previous marriages. The wife adored her own daughter. She dressed her in beautiful clothes, wrapped her in silk scarves, and never made her lift a finger. "My daughter must be the prettiest in the village. I can't let those delicate hands get dirty." Because of that, the daughter became extremely lazy. All day long, she would sit in front of a mirror, brushing her hair, admiring herself, and doing nothing at all. On the other hand, the stepdaughter received no kindness. Though she was not spoiled, she was diligent, kind, and always ready to help. Every morning, before the rooster even crowed, she would wake up to sweep the yard, cook rice, wash clothes, and clean the house. But no matter how much she did, her stepmother always shouted, "Why haven't you washed the courtyard yet? Go clean the kitchen now." "But I already cleaned it this morning." "Silence. Do as I say. No arguments." Despite the unfairness, the girl never complained. Each day passed with her working hard, smiling gently even with her calloused hands. The father saw everything. His heart ached for his daughter, but he was old, weak, and constantly ill. All he could do was weep quietly. "My dear daughter, I'm sorry. I have nothing to give you." "It's all right, father. You raised me with love. Now it's my turn to care for you." One day, the stepmother overheard this conversation and suddenly had an idea. "Of course! If she's so hardworking, why not send her to work for a wealthy family? She'll earn money and I'll take it all. My daughter and I will finally live in luxury." The next morning, she pretended to be kind. "Your father is always sick and we need money. You should go work for a rich family and send money back." The girl looked at her and asked calmly, "Why don't you send your own daughter?" The woman scoffed. "My daughter is beautiful and delicate. If she works, she'll ruin her looks. But you're not that pretty anyway. It won't matter if you work." The weak father tried to protest. "No, you don't have to go." But the girl shook her head with determination. "Father, I want to go. I believe that if I work hard, one day I'll be rewarded." At dawn, she packed a few old clothes and got ready to leave. No one gave her food or water for the journey. Only her father, with trembling hands, held hers and said, "My child, remember, never say no to someone in need, and whatever you do it with all your heart." The girl nodded, eyes bright. "I promise, father." And so her journey began. Part 2. Strange Encounters Along the Way. The girl began her journey, armed with nothing but her feet, her determination, and her father's words in her heart. For many days she walked from hill to hill. The sun was harsh, the dust was thick, but she never stopped. Though tired and hungry, she never once complained. "Father taught me never to give up. I must work hard. Someday I'll be rewarded." While catching her breath under a tree, a weak voice called out, "Little girl, will you help me?" She looked up and saw a dried-up old tree, its branches brittle and its leaves gone. "Could you remove my dry branches? They are stopping me from growing new leaves. I'll repay you with something good in return." Without hesitation, the girl nodded. "Of course. You need help. How could I say no?" She climbed up and broke off all the dry twigs. Her hands were scratched, her arms sore, but she didn't stop until the tree was clean and ready to grow again. The tree whispered gently, "Thank you, dear child. I won't forget this." Smiling, she dusted herself off and continued on. Soon after, she found a dying vine next to an old rusty spade. "Dear girl, could you till the soil around my roots? I'm thirsty and need to breathe." She picked up the spade and began to dig. The soil was hard, filled with stones, but she worked patiently. Sweat dripped down her face, but her smile remained. "It's okay. My hands will heal. You needed help, and I had to do something." The vine looked fresher already. Further down the road, she came across an old, cracked oven. "Would you mend me, little girl? Cover my cracks and make me strong again. I'll do something good for you in return." She mixed mud with her hands and feet and carefully patched the oven's cracks. "Now you can bake bread without burning it." The oven glowed warmly. "But your hands and feet are so dirty." "That's okay, I can wash them later." Next, she met a murky old well. The water inside was foul. "Please help me, child. Scoop out the dirty water so I can be clean again." Without pause, she drew out bucket after bucket, tossing away the stale water until the well sparkled. "Thank you, dear girl. I'll remember your kindness." Then came a little muddy dog with tangled fur. "Will you bathe me and brush my hair? I'll reward you later." She gently picked up the pup, walked to the nearby river, washed him clean, and brushed out all the knots. Now, fluffy and happy, the dog wagged his tail in delight. "You're the first to be kind to me. I won't forget you." Though she was tired, her heart felt light and warm. She was happy knowing she had done the right thing. Night fell. She looked for shelter, and soon spotted a small glowing house deep in the woods. She knocked gently. "Excuse me, it's dark now. May I stay here tonight?" The door opened. 7 small, lovely fairies stood before her, each wearing a hat of a different color. One smiled. "You've come at the right time. If you want to stay, you can help us with a small task." "What is it?" she asked. "There are 7 rooms in this house. Each day, clean the first 6 rooms. But remember, never open the 7th room. Do you agree?" She nodded. "Yes, I promise." From that day, she lived with the 7 fairies. Each morning, she woke up early and cleaned the 6 rooms with care. She never peeked at the 7th. Days turned into months. A whole year passed. She never broke her word, always working hard with a gentle smile. One morning, she came to the fairies. "Thank you for letting me stay here. I think my father must miss me by now. I'd like to go home." One fairy asked, "Tell us, why did you never try to enter the 7th room?" "My father taught me to keep my promises. I was here to help you, so I followed your rules." The fairies smiled at each other. "You are honest and diligent. Your heart has touched us. Now it's time for your reward." Part 3. The Magical Reward and the Journey Home. The fairies held the gentle girl's hands and led her down a long hallway to the 7th door, the very door she had never opened during her year with them. One of the fairies spoke softly. "Now you may enter." The door creaked open, and the girl was stunned. Inside was a treasure room filled with piles of gold, silver, ancient coins, jewels, and sparkling gems. It glittered like a room full of stars. The fairy said, "Roll yourself over the treasure. Whatever sticks to your body will be your reward for your honesty and hard work this past year." Hesitating only a little, the girl did as told. Miraculously, the treasures clung to her dress, her hair, her arms and legs as if by magic. When she stepped out, she shone like a radiant star, bright, pure, and breathtakingly beautiful. The fairies smiled kindly. "You've lived with a true and good heart. This is your rightful reward." Tears welled in her eyes. She bowed deeply in gratitude to each fairy. Then, under the warm glow of the setting sun, she set off for home, her heart full of thankfulness and joy. The journey back was no less magical. First, she met the little dog she had once bathed, but now its fur had turned into strands of pearls flowing like soft hair. The dog barked joyfully. "You helped me when I was in need. Now I have magic. Take as many pearls as you like." She gently wrapped a few strands around her hands and neck, thanked the dog, and continued walking. A little farther, she reached the well she had cleaned. Now it sparkled with pure water, and beautiful ceramic jugs were arranged beside it. The well said, "Dear girl, you helped me become clean again. Drink all you wish." She dipped a jug, drank deeply, and smiled. "Thank you. Your water is sweeter than any fine wine." Next came the oven, now fresh and glowing. On top were warm loaves of bread and sweet little cakes. The oven greeted her. "You mended my cracks. Come eat the finest breads." She tasted a few, then packed some to bring back for her father. "Thank you, oven. My father will love these." Then she reached the vine, now covered with plump dark grapes. A cup of freshly pressed grape juice awaited her. "You helped me breathe and grow again. Please drink and take some home." She sipped gratefully and packed some for the journey. Finally, she came upon the once dry tree, now full of lush green leaves and golden pears. "You helped me when I was withering. Take as many pears as you like." She carefully picked a few juicy fruits and wrapped them gently. At sunset, she reached home. Before she could even knock, her father stepped out to greet her. He was well again, his eyes shining with joy. She ran into his arms. "Father, I'm home. My child, you've made me so proud." They embraced tightly, tears flowing, not of sadness but of pure happiness. The stepmother and her lazy daughter ran out of the house, stunned at the sight before them. The once quiet girl now stood gleaming with gold, silver, pearls, and gifts in her arms. The stepmother gasped, What is this?" She realized instantly that her husband was now healthy and his daughter was wealthy. Her selfish plan had collapsed. Immediately, she turned to her own daughter and whispered, "Listen, that girl only helped some random things and got rich. You can do better. Go now. I know you'll bring me back rubies and diamonds." The lazy daughter nodded, her eyes glittering with greed. Part 4. The Lazy Girl and the Bitter Consequences. The very next morning, the lazy daughter got ready to leave. Her hair was perfectly combed, her clothes neatly ironed, and her hands and feet were smeared with whitening cream. Before leaving, her mother reminded her, "Listen carefully. Ignore everyone. Don't waste time helping. Keep your hands clean and pretty. Just find the place with treasure and do exactly what I say." The girl tossed her hair confidently. "Don't worry, Mom. I'm smart. Not like that fool who helped trees and dogs." And so she set off, not to work, but to collect treasure. Soon she encountered the same dried-up tree. The tree pleaded, "Dear girl, can you help me remove my dead branches? I'll repay you." The lazy girl sneered, "Ew, no. I won't ruin my nails and pretty feet for your dead twigs." She walked off, nose in the air. Next, the wilted vine asked her to plow the soil. "Under this hot sun? No way. My skin will get tanned." She kept going. The cracked oven begged her, "Please mend my broken body." "Touch mud. Yuck, never." The dirty well whispered, "Clean my stale water and I'll reward you." "Clean yourself. I'm not ruining my hands for you." Then the muddy little dog whimpered, "Please bathe me. I'll do something good for you." "Ah, filthy dog, stay away!" She ran away screaming. Eventually, night fell and she reached the same little house. She knocked. "Can I stay here tonight?" The 7 fairies appeared. Like before, they said, "You may stay, but clean 6 rooms each day and never open the 7th. The girl agreed, pretending to be polite, but her mind was already scheming. "Where's the treasure room? I need it now." She cleaned half-heartedly. She yawned and swept without care. After a few days, her curiosity exploded. Late one night, while the fairies slept, she crept to the 7th door and opened it. But instead of treasure, frogs! Bees! They buzzed and leapt, biting and stinging her from head to toe. "Ah!" she screamed, her skin bruised, her clothes torn. Without waiting for the fairies, she fled the house in terror. On the way back, she hoped to find those who had promised rewards. She saw the pearl-furred dog and ran to grab some strands, but the dog vanished into the forest. She reached the well and leaned down to drink, but the water sank deeper and deeper, out of reach. At the oven, fresh bread sat waiting, but when she touched it, it burned her fingers. The vine's grapes looked juicy, but the vine twisted away, blocking her. The tall tree's pears swayed above, but each time she reached, the tree grew taller, pulling them out of reach. Bruised, dirty, and empty-handed, she returned home. Her mother waited eagerly. "Did you bring rubies? Diamonds?" But the girl arrived filthy and crying. "Nothing. I got nothing." The father stepped out silently. The hard-working girl was in the garden, tending plants, her pearl bracelets glistening as always, her smile soft and peaceful. The father spoke firmly. "This house has no place for laziness and greed. Leave." The stepmother and her daughter walked away, ashamed. And from then on, the father and his diligent daughter lived happily, not because of gold, but because of love and the kindness they shared every day. Part 5. Life Lesson: Who is truly rich? Since the stepmother and her lazy daughter left the small house, no one in the village saw them again. Some said they wandered from place to place, still dreaming of riches without working. Others just shook their heads, knowing that was the ending selfishness and greed deserved. Meanwhile, the house where the father and his diligent daughter lived was never grand, but always filled with laughter. Every morning, the girl woke up early to sweep the yard, cook meals, and care for the garden. But now, she didn't do it out of duty. She worked with joy and purpose. Her father had recovered his health, and the two of them cherished every moment together. Every meal, every shared story, every gesture of care. All of it was more valuable than any jewel. One spring day, the old tree she helped blossomed with white flowers. The vine twirled along the fence, full of grapes. The well reflected the sky like a mirror, and the oven filled the air with the scent of fresh bread each afternoon. Sometimes the pearl-furred dog returned to play, bringing shimmering new strands as if to say, "Thank you again." The villagers began telling their children stories about the girl, not as a princess, but as a symbol of perseverance and kindness. "Listen, children," the elders would say, "there is no shortcut to real happiness. Only honesty, hard work, and compassion will lead you there." So who, in the end, was truly rich? Was it the girl covered in pearls and gold? No, it was the one who gave freely, worked from the heart, and never ignored those in need. She was rich, not because of treasures, but because her heart always carried the light of goodness, and that light never fades. Ending narration, gentle fairy tale voice. My dear friends, and so the story of the lazy girl and the diligent girl comes to an end. I'm sure each of you felt something. Maybe you were moved, maybe you reflected deeply, or maybe you simply smiled. Whatever it was, I believe we all learned one thing. There is nothing more precious than a heart that tries, a heart that helps, and a heart that never gives up. Even if good things come slowly, they always come, like the magic of the forest fairies. Closing call to action. If you found this story touching and meaningful, don't forget to click like to support us. And if you'd like to hear more warm and magical stories like this, please hit subscribe so you never miss a tale. Thank you for staying with me until the end. See you next time, on another gentle afternoon with sunlight, a breeze, and a little bit of magic.